Welcome to this week's edition of Collecting Small Diecast Land Rovers. And what we got for you today, let's have a look. So we've got two more models from the big collection we bought, or reasonably sized collection we bought, that we started to look at in the last video. And for these two subjects, we've got obviously the RAC Motorway Patrol, and we've also got the rail track, which is the white Land Rover with the it's for use on the railway networks here in the UK. Any incidents, this vehicle would go out. It's not so much the general day-to-day maintenance, it's more the damage to the infrastructure which would need to be repaired really quickly. So they used to have these, and they could go out to anywhere in the network to sort out any problems. Right, so the first one we're going to take a look at is the RAC one, so we'll get set up for that, and we'll show you what it's all about. So this is in the ever popular RAC livery, a breakdown. Well, it's a club. You basically pay for membership, and if you break down, they come out and pick you up. We've talked about these before. Always a popular livery. This one of the harder to find because it has all the very early features to it. So we'll start with the registration number, which is WXX. So there's three others in this. There's three other variations in this this set that we know of. So we'll get the old mobile out and jump onto the app so we can double check that we've got the right features on this one and it isn't throwing up any surprises. So whilst you're taking a look at what it has to offer, I'm just going onto the website to find the blue RAC. There we are. Right, so as I say, there's three we know of. I'll try and bring that in if I can reach around the thing. No, that's not working. Just bear with me 1 second and we'll move things around a little. A bit difficult to do while the turntable's turning. Right, so let's draw that out. There we are. That's a bit better. Right, we've got three to look at that we've had previously. So this one obviously has blue wheels, so it's not the first one, not the second one, not the third. We've got an entry at the bottom, so that's what we're interested in. So it's got WXX registration. Yes, that checks out. It's also got a clear rear window, so yes, that checks out. And it's got painted exhaust. Well, I can assure you of that. And the wheels are type A, so as it comes round we can double check. Yep, the wheels have got the slots, so that is the type A wheels. Obviously the other versions have they're more filled in, they're not as defined, but if you've seen any of our videos you'll be fully aware of that. And the main thing on this one is it has a blue vent panel. Vent panel's the one when it comes round, it's just under the windscreen wipers, and it's like a ventilation panel. These often can appear in silver or body colour, but this is one of the early ones. We'll just take a look underneath. One screw fixing. There's only two types of fixings for these. One that's got a screw in, and then bolted in the bottom of the vehicle is a threaded piece where the screw engages, and there's like a peg sticks up, so it stops the model twisting once it's on the plinth, and that peg engages with a hole in the bottom of the vehicle. The other type you get is no fixing whatsoever, and we're going to move on to that when we look at the next one. So very hard to find in this version. I've been looking out for a while, so once we get the details of this filled in, that will make all 4 known variants, so that's another one we can tick off. Are there any more out there? Probably not, but it's worth comparing yours, and if you've got any, let me know. Let me know, and we can stick another version on the website for people to try and find. Right, we've mentioned once or twice before when we've looked at these, always popular livery, so probably that's why they don't crop up as often. And if you wanted to make an RAC themed collection, there's dozens of models out there. Yeah, everybody's had a go at them. That and the AA. So if that's the livery you like, then there's plenty of scope to make up a really nice little collection in all scales from all manufacturers. Right, let's move on to the other one. Now, before we do, what we'll do is get his brothers and sisters out, and we'll give you an idea of where each one sits in the timeline. So this is what we think the timeline is on these little models in this livery. That was the previous first one. It featured the painted bottom with the painted vent panel, so that was a fairly early model, but it did feature Type A wheels. Then we come to this chap, clear rear window, we've lost the painted bottom and we've gone to a silver vent panel, still with the Type B wheels. It's possible I said Type B wheels on that. We'll just have a check and I'll put a correction on if I did, but they're Type B. Type B. Then we got this one, later still, and we know that because the rear window has been painted. There we are, painted rear window. So that's the later one. So the one we've just been looking at has the Type A wheels. It's also got the blue wheels. So in the blue vent panel, that is the earliest. So that one would go into there. So that's the timeline of these models, if we can get them in shot. There we are. Is there room for a Oxford Diecast re-release? Yes. Will they do it? We can only hope. We can only hope. And if they did do it, it would have the Type 2 vent panel where the wings have been chopped off and just made a lot flatter, and it would also have the revised base where there'd probably be no writing on it. So there'd be no Hongwell and Land Rover Series 3 etc. printed on the bottom. So there you have it. If you want to collect them, there's 4. Possibility of a 5th, or if you know of another variation out there, most likely to be a Type 2 vent panel one, if there are any. I've seen no evidence, but there's always a chance, so check yours. And if they don't have these little wings on, just got to be careful with them wings because they easily break off. So have a really good look. If there's any little stub where they've been, then it's just a damaged one and not the one we're after. It's the one where they deliberately manufactured it without them little wings. Right, so Series 3 soft top, RAC motorway patrol, and it is the mobile service unit in 1/72nd scale. Let's set up for the next one and we'll take a look at what that has to offer. Next up is this white Series 3 soft top in Railtrack livery, a UK company, like I said at the beginning of this video. No longer in operation. It's gone through a few changes and I'm not quite sure what its current name is now, but not the commonest again. There seems to be just a core bunch of models from this range that crop up time and time again, but every so often you'll get one of these come through on the auction sites, because that's the only place you're going to get them. You might have a few model shops that have second-hand items in, or you look into the Oxford Diecast re-releases. That's the only source you're going to get the new ones at this point in time. Right, we'll get it unboxed and you can take a look at it. Now this one dates from the very early production of these models. It's one I've already got actually, but I'm showing you this because my example was just loose. There was no packaging or anything with it, but it's one of the models that was released before the plinths came along, and hence they had no holes in the bottom. Now if I can just bring this one in to show you that there are no holes in the bottom of the base. There's usually a threaded hole and also just a round one where peg locates to stop the model twisting around on the plinth. Right, so all the ones that came with these bases had to be modified so that the base could be screwed to the bottom of the thing. Previously they were just mounted in cardboard and a piece of wire was looped around the axles and held them in place through a couple of holes, and then the wire was twisted. Right, what's special about this one? Well, this one has the wire. Now that wire looks as though it's never been off. It looks to be in place from when the manufacturers put it in, and if you look, the base has had to be drilled to accommodate it. So this model, I would suggest, is one that was unmodified but was on the crossover where they stopped using just the plain cardboard boxes with a cellophane window in front to going on to these plinths. Now the way that wire's twisted, and I work with wire all the time, I would say that's never been untwisted, so that looks like it's original. So obviously they were using up stocks to before they switched over onto a modified base, and so for that reason this one's going to go into the collection. The loose one, I'll keep it for a while. I may sell it on. This livery never seems to appear in the multi-packs that they do, not that I've seen. Perhaps somebody's got one that has, but I've not, in all the years I've never seen it appear in one of the multi-packs. Whether they considered it wasn't as relevant to release in other countries other than the UK. However, some of the other liveries are based on UK liveries, so no, perhaps that's not the case, but for whatever reason they've chose not to put it into the multi-packs. They've been around that long, there's always a chance that somebody's added one a mix and match, as it were. You know, they bought a multi-pack to get hold of one model and substituted that with another, and then probably passed it on or resold it or given it away, whatever. So it's always hard to know what's a genuine and an original, but I think this one is. I'm pretty sure. So we'll get its brothers and sisters out, and we'll show you where it fits into the lineup. So these are the previous versions we've got in the collection. This is pretty much the same as the one we've just been looking at. It's got no fixing holes, and it's also got the painting and the vent panel, etc. Now this one, it's not in the box, so it's possible this one came out of a cardboard box, so that would probably be the earliest, but we can't know. There's no way of knowing if this came on a plinth or in a cardboard box, but it's possible it was a cardboard box version. The one we've just got is this one, where it's exactly the same, a very early one, but it has been adapted so that it can go on a plinth. So I would say that's possibly the earliest, we don't know. Then that one. Then we got this one, painted underneath, but it's got the later type wheels and silver, and a painted vent panel. So that one goes in there. That's obviously the next one along line. And then this last one has a painted rear window, so that's even later still, and unpainted underneath, and the silver vent panel. Right, so I think there could be another one. I've not listed it on the website. It's just looking at this. Why isn't the one with silver vent panel, Type B wheels, unpainted exhaust, etc., but with a clear window? We jump. I think there's one that may go in there. It's worth looking out for. The more I think about it, that's my phone, sorry. The more I think about it, it's, yeah, I think there will be one. So please check yours, and if you've got one, let us know. Yeah, that's one I'd missed. It seems a logical step. It really does, unless these weren't produced in really great numbers. That's why they don't crop up very often. So if that's the case, it's possible they just decided to revisit it and applied the later models to this one. No, there's going to be one, but it's over to you guys, and I'll keep looking and see if one turns up. Right, so we'll set up for the finish, and then we'll see where we're going to go next week. So there we have two of the less common liveries, and I hope you've got some of them, or if you've got some that I haven't got, please tell me, please. I'm quite intrigued about that one. I think there's another one to be had in that set, but time will tell, time will tell. In the last video, I asked a question about the 6 set Land Rovers. Just show you one in here if I can get it in shot. These are the ones we're referring to. If you're interested, go and take a look at that video. It's the one previous to this, so I forget what number we're up to now. The question is, are the ones I've got originals? And unfortunately, I do these about 2 weeks in advance, these films, and the question that I pose will only just be going up to tonight as I'm filming this one, so I haven't yet got an answer, but I'm hoping to feature these in next week's video, so hopefully somebody will come up with an answer. But to save having to go through it all again, if you take a look at the previous video to this one, and you'll understand what I'm on about. Right, I'm away next week, and I don't know whether there's going to be any opportunity to film a video, so I'll do my best. If I get a chance to film one in advance, I'll do you one. If not, we'll be back the week after. So, only remains to say, happy collecting.